CIO News. I am Khushbu Soni, your host for the broadcast and chief editor at CIO News. This is our exclusive interview series on the topic of new age collaboration and digital customer experience. This is a recorded session and will be available on our website, that is cionews.co.in, and our CIO News LinkedIn handle. It gives me great pleasure in introducing our guest for today. He is Mr. Subramaniam Puthrevu, the Chief Information Officer and Associate Vice President at Mindtree Limited. Subramaniam has rich experience of 21 years, more than 21 years working with Mindtree, and has led several digital transformation initiatives for Mindtree. So it's a great pleasure to have you today.
Thanks, Khushbu, for that wonderful introduction. Thanks a lot.
Great. We're really looking forward to it, sir. I also have Jay Velin. He is the head of business collaboration for India and Mecca at Tata Communication. Jay has worked with various brands like BT, Aircel, and many more. Jay, once again, pleasure to have you.
Thanks, Khushbu. Happy to be part of this session. On behalf of Tata.com, I welcome Subramaniam for this session.
Thanks, Jay. You can address me as Subbu, and that's how I'm known in Mindtree and the industry as well.
Awesome. Great. So, Subbu, if you can help us, on the first question is around, we all know about Mindtree, right, as a brand, but it would be great to hear from you a little bit about Mindtree. So if you can share some light on that.
Sure. So Mindtree is a company, what we fondly call it as a digital born company. We are a company started in 1999. I think you have seen the real digital era started then, and that's when Mindtree was also born, right? Since then, we have grown in size, and today, if you look at, we are a $1 plus billion revenue organization. With close to 30,000 Mindtree minds spread across different geographies. Our primary business proposition is services to our customers and enabling their products realize or solutions realize and then make their businesses profitable. We are present in 4 different verticals, that is BFSI, travel and hospitality, and then travel and hospitality, and then consumer products and goods, CPG, retail is the other vertical, and then we have product engineering services. They're the 4 verticals that we are present in, and certainly we have co-headquartered in both Bangalore and New Jersey. That's how we are spread across.
Great, awesome. And so, if to begin with, also if you can share, as a CIO, what your typical day looks like, and how do you kind of handle your day-to-day, work? I'm being a CIO of such a large organization.
It's an interesting question, but at the same time, not all days will be the same. Right. But they form certain patterns, right? Every day, certainly we'll have certain set of meetings. These meetings are predominantly and primarily driven by agenda, where we wanted to take certain decisions in what and how we are doing, whether it is looking at how our internal processes are, and then how do we digitize those internal processes, and looking at the technologies in terms of what is those that are coming in the market, and then how our overall technology landscape is, and then how we enhance that within Mindtree. And then some of them will be more management and operational discussions and decision making, wherein the so-called quote-unquote crisis is handled, etc. So that way, a part of it goes towards handling those unforeseen situations. And some of them is more interacting with my own team members in understanding how the initiatives are progressing and more operational and ensuring that we are delivering to our commitments. And last is in terms of meeting my own partner ecosystem, right? I mean, I make it a point to meet all my partners and their competitors at least few times in a year. One, certainly they bring in rich experience and knowledge, and it's one way to enhance my knowledge through them as well, right? Because they invest so much of money, time, and analysis, right? I mean, it's like a synthesized interaction that I would get from them.
Right.
So that's how I spread across my day. And time permits, I do take care of some of the reading that I do on my own to enhance myself and to understand what's happening across, both from business perspective as well as from technology perspective, so that I keep myself abreast and then not become a laggard at some point in time. I mean, we all understand that we are in knowledge industry, and unless we continually learn and then use those in our way of life or way of handling and delivering, we don't become competitive, right? So that's how I would say the key 5 major things that I think of that would happen in my everyday life. And last but not the least, I do spend time on myself. I am a strong believer of work-life balance. And unless you take care of yourself, yourself will not take care of you. So that way, I spend some time in taking a break from the work. I mean, I do physical activity every day and then spend some time with my family and daughter.
Nice, wonderful, great. Great stuff. So, my next question is, with the whole situation that we are in, right, in this whole pandemic, while we are getting better at it, and things are coming back to the normal. I wanted to understand, how do you collaborate with your employees and with the customers to solve project issues, or even to provide stakeholders the real-time project status updates. So, if you can throw some light around how you look at collaboration in this current scenario.
See, collaboration has been one of the core themes that we had for a very long time at the organization level, because one, we are a technology organization, and as I mentioned, we are a software services organization. That means we, as Mindtree team, is not just distributed, but also we have to collaborate with our customer, who is also in various parts of the globe, right? So that way, collaboration has been key. And for a very long time, we have adopted Microsoft technologies. Today, if you look at, we are on Teams, and then we use that as our collaboration platform. So that way, when truly, when the pandemic struck and when everything became remote working, it has become truly a seamless journey for all of us at Mindtree, because we are so used to using Teams as a platform that we have adopted. And then it became like a natural choice when we even went home en masse. Before pandemic, we had embarked on a journey to move our application landscape onto Azure, and then we were also migrating our SAP landscape to S/4HANA. So those who hear this would understand the nature and the complexity of the project. And our go live was April 2020. So you can imagine the kind of preparations and the way whole thing has changed. We have not changed the date because we started, all of us, working from home starting 20th of March, right? So that way you could really see and then feel that how seamless our collaboration was while we all have transitioned to work from home, and how the platform has brought all of us together without any hiccups, and then ensuring that what we committed to deliver and then go live on April 20 is something that we cherish a lot, because that's the first time we have seen where a large project that we have undertaken, and then not easy ones. They are really, really complex ones. And since then, of course, we have delivered many more for our customers as part of our journey at Mindtree. But that is something that, as a CIO and my team, cherishes a lot.
Wonderful. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Great.
In fact,
yeah.
I refer this, so sorry, Khushbu. And thanks for making this more substantiated statement. When I go and be part of some of the forums and referring this, we used to go and refer some of the analyst report, global analyst report, when I was Gartner and all that. So based on that, the organizations or enterprises are actually categorized in 5 different stages when it comes to the digital transformation or the technology adoptions, right? So be it from silo, enhanced, integrated, unified, and transformed are the 5 stages. Those customers who are at the unified stage or the transform stage, who has got the technology, front runners who deployed the best technology in the offices, hasn't faced any big issues during the pandemic. So they managed the pandemic in a very effective manner, or with very less impact. Those customers on the first initial 3 stages of it, it's actually gone through a lot of challenges. And more importantly, the industry that you highlighted, like travel industry is most impacted one, I know, from the business side of it. True. And even FMCG, right? So those industries been impacted. Maybe during that space, when the business is actually going down, and obviously we also need to scale down our spend, right, with respect to the capacity and the spend. Hope that also been thought through from Mindtree, and then have been, because we've seen this, because we are the partner for Mindtree on the MS Teams based in Connexence. We've seen the scale up and scale down, how it actually happened during the period, right? So that's absolutely the right step for any organization.
True, very true, Jared. And you're right. I mean, some of those industry verticals have got impacted because of the pandemic, but we are seeing that they going through these digital transformations, and then helping not just the direct business that they are doing, but in different forms, did improve on the way we engaged with them. And then today, if you look at Mindtree's results, I think the travel vertical has certainly shown a good progress, and then we are seeing slowly that showing the sign of recovery and then the growth path. Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Great. So I'll go to the next question, Jay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Please.
Awesome. So, also to understand, you did mention about the collaboration solutions that you had provided, to the work from home users. So, how are they ensuring the adherence to the HR and IT compliance? If you can throw some light on that.
So, if you look at remote working, is not new at Mindtree. Okay. Let's take that as a fundamental premise. As part of our HR, what we call it as people function in Mindtree, as part of our people policies, we always had remote working. While it is a certain number of days in a month that we are allowed to work remotely, whether it is home or a place of otherwise where you are. So that way, remote working has always been there. while pandemic made it remote working for everybody, right? But that does not make it very different from what it was before, right? So that way, um, uh, the trust and the kind of policies that have put in force enabled us to make sure that people do understand the do's and don'ts of the remote working, and the kind of deliverables and what they are to ensure from a customer satisfaction perspective when all of it is taken care. Certainly, that enforces that I don't need to put the real monitorings or real cameras behind them. But one thing that we made sure is the beefing up of security, right? See, now what happens in the scenario of remote working for a longer durations, we are not very sure on the kind of networks that the end users would come from. Say, for example, most often they may have um, home Wi-Fi network connected to a lot more devices than the laptop that I provide, right? So that way, it is just not about my device connecting to that network, which may become a potentially vulnerable network because of the other devices being connected. Say, for example, today your TV is connected, your many digital devices are connected on the same network, right? So that way, we kind of beefed up the security controls on the endpoint, um, and then made sure that the endpoint is protected much more than what it was before. That is one thing that we categorically mandated, and then provided them the do's and don'ts and guidelines on how to maintain their home networks. So that way, what otherwise was not part of our responsibility, because we never took charge of one's home network, but we have, while we have not directly managed it, but we given some kind of do's and don'ts so that that network becomes safe, so that from where I'm connecting back would also inherently becomes safer. But what we have taken care is to make sure that the endpoint is much more secured with a few more solutions that we have deployed on the endpoint, and beefed up the monitoring of anything that comes from a security alerting perspective. That is what we have made sure. But from uh, Mindtree Minds, that's what we call our employees. From Mindtree Minds perspective, we have relied upon a few of our internal applications, wherein one has to fill in saying that he is working remotely. That is one thing. And then the deliverables are managed through our own project management tools. So that way we know the progress that they are making, because it's not because of the remote working, but to make sure that the project progress itself is reported on the tool. That is how we have monitored the progress of the deliverables. And if you look at overall from our customer satisfaction perspective, we were actually getting better customer satisfaction rating than the pre-pandemic. So that is the greatest endorsement that we are proud to say that our customer satisfaction levels either stayed or better compared to what we were pre-pandemic. So that way, that's the proof of the pudding, I would call it, as or as the endorsement that we have seen when you make the deliverables and customers are happy. What more you need? I mean, you don't need 10 cameras around me or somebody watching over my shoulder, etc. Right? So that way, it's a good thing from the work perspective. From an employee engagement perspective, we kind of initiated few different programs to engage with them while they were all working remote. Say, for example, we have engaged in yoga sessions And then on a couple of months, we had Zumba classes. So that way, we have engaged them in terms of how they can make the best use of the time, right? I mean,
Right.
quote unquote, the time we spend in travel to office, which is mostly at least 2 hours a day that we spend. So even if that 1 hour that you can spend on these kind of activities certainly gives you that break from the monotony of staying through the home and the work at home. So that's something that our HR teams, again, people function team at Mindtree did that. And the other thing that we have seen, and then again, the proof of pudding is that the number of learning hours have gone up. So we have made sure that our learning platform, what we call it as Yorbit, has got much more and rich content. And then we have also made what we call it as learning paths for the individuals, so that see, end of the day, these people are ambitious people, right? And sometimes you give them a clear path in terms of, hey, look, if you want to reach from where you are to what you want to become, these are the things that you need to learn, or these are things that you need to do. Then it becomes much more effective, right? So that way we have created learning paths for them. And the number of learning hours that we have observed and seen that the end users have recorded were much more than what we have seen during the normal days while they were working remote. So that way we have seen that Mindtree Minds are spending more time in enhancing them and or reskilling them so that they become more effective in what and how they deliver. So that way they spent more time in self-educating and using those resources that are available on Yorbit to get certified on few of those courses, etc. Right? And last but not the least is we have done a few interesting things. Say, for example, which is still running right now. We had a quiz show and quiz time. So we engaged in kind of preliminaries, and then bringing them onto a platform for the final six, and having them from across the globe with different themes every month, and then having those engaging ways to keep them in different forms and shapes, right? So they do a preliminary quiz, which is a written test, and then whoever is the top scorers, 6 of them will come onto a platform, and the quiz master will ask them like a live show, and then it's watched by everybody, right? So that way it's a great engaging session. And we invited eminent personalities in engaging conversations with mid to senior leaders, so that they get to understand how they have done in their careers, and somewhat motivational / sharing their own experiences. So that way they help certainly in terms of listening to them and understanding them. Say, for example, one of our board members is a retired IFS officer, foreign services. So she was sharing how her experience of being the early member of a foreign services. It was very interesting to hear and listen to them, and then see how and what they have done in their careers, etc. Was an inspiring thing. So that way, these are the various things that we have done to keep all of us, even including us. I mean, even I need engagement, right?
Yeah.
To engage all of us during this interesting times for all of us, right? I mean, certainly pandemic is something that we can talk forever, but that it certainly created a lot of interesting times for us, that we rediscovered ourselves, and then did so many other things otherwise we wouldn't have done before.
Very comprehensive one. So I think this is a much detailed one you covered across all functions, right? Be it how it has been managed from office to work from home scenario, the employee engagement part of it, how you actually engaged at the leadership level, how I'm not sure there are so many survey has gone from HR to the employees to fill it and get back as a part of the engagement. But obviously, this is a great understanding. And going back to the first point of yours, I strongly agree because one of our other customers is again a partner to us, the largest IT/ITeS company who has got about 500K employee base, is got a practice of zero work from home policy. Once the pandemic hits, they have to move to 100% of the work from home policy within 3 weeks' time. This is not possible unless otherwise they have actually equipped, like what you've been calling out, right? Be it the application side of it, or even at the employee side of it, or the overall the ecosystem and architecture, if it is not been well built and enabled, achieving this is not a easy task. And I understand from that perspective, and you mentioned in 2020 April only, you got many of this on the cloud, right? So is there any applications after the pandemic that you realize that, oh, I should have got this in cloud, but I'm delayed here, I should have been moved? What kind of, is there any such business situations wherein you countered, and how you manage that situation could be a better learning for the team?
So if you look at, to be honest with you, Jay, when we went live in 2020 April, fairly my 90% of the application landscape was moved to Azure Cloud at that point in time. And anything new that we have been considering and doing was also considered to be in the cloud. So that way, and this is not a journey that we started then, right? I mean, this is the reality is in 2020 April, but the real journey started in 2018. So it's not that we were preparing for a pandemic. Touch wood, we all want it not happen, but we were preparing that we are future ready, right? So that is how we have envisioned that program. And then it so happened that it went live during the pandemic, and then many have started their journeys after pandemic. But at the same time, this is something that we started in 2018, kind of culminated with the go live in April 2020. So that way, I wouldn't say that there were something that we missed, but the last few went a few months later, so that we are now fairly fully on the cloud, and with a minimal data center footprint for minimal workloads that are must and should be in our data center. That is what I would share at this point.
When there is a situation that you need to give the same customer experience, and you mentioned that it has been kind of appreciated from your clients and customers that it's a much better than what it was before the pandemic. But was it a simple step internally as a process for you in Mindtree, or was there any complex processes that you have to go through? Is what we would like to understand.
So if you look at Jay, as a CIO organization, right? When someone has to reach us, we always have given them 3 channels. Okay, one, they would call on our line, the customer support line, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they kind of reach to the help desk, or they will raise the tickets on the ticketing system when they have an issue, or they will reach us through Teams channel. So all 3 were available from the beginning. What we have experienced is that while all of them were available before, we have seen that the calls volume was higher pre-pandemic. Okay, but post-pandemic, the Teams interactions became much more. Okay, the reason and rationale is that given my 8-hour day deals with Teams, everyone found that to be much more easier. So that way, it became almost like a de facto where the interface interact than call, and in some instances, they even came over the Teams channel, and then the ticket is raised on their behalf, etc. Right? And then given now we are transforming the entire ticketing system itself, right now going through a huge transformation. We are even planning to automate everything, that if someone comes on the Teams channel and then asks for some things, it automatically creates a ticket for them without anybody even attending to it, and see that it is getting resolved. So that way, we have not faced the challenge in terms of either the reachability or someone finding it hard in terms of seeking for that help, etc. And then that become a de facto in terms of how they could reach us. And in fact, while we have seen this, it became like a proof for us from our thought process perspective also. We started adopting Teams early 2019. So that time, what we have envisaged is, hey, look, we have our applications on the mobile as a mobile application. But what we said at that point in time is that the channel is going to be the key, and the future is going to be channels. Like Teams is a channel, right? So that way, today, if you look at, we have stopped publishing mobile applications. We have all our applications on this Teams channel. So that way, we have kind of what we have envisaged at that point in time is coming to reality. And then we see that going forward also, these channels are going to be the future, because it gives me enormous amount of productivity, in the sense that, say, for example, if I want to launch a mobile application, I need to test on different devices, different OSs, and different formats. I mean, all that headache is gone, right? And it is all taken care by the channel itself. The Teams is available on any phone that my end users are using it, right? So that is how we are envisaging at that point in time, is coming almost reality now. And today, all my LOB apps are there on Teams.
Awesome. Interesting insights, Subbu. In fact, you can't be more right when you're actually saying that the digital transformation or cloud migrations is already there. Pandemics only actually helped accelerating that, right? And then as part of Tata Communications, when we engage with the market and customers and organizations, the contact center space is one of the most dynamic space, because they realize that at least some part of it, or a critical part of it, they have to move either to the hybrid side of it or on the cloud side of it. And there are a lot of engagements happening. And during that engagements, there are things like you actually highlighted, automations, right? Automation is one where how they can increase, be it on the agent efficiency side of it, or even the customer experience side of it, or the consumer experience side of it. So there are many, in fact, from Tata Communications, we have a private cloud, public cloud, we have multiple partners, solutions, and so on and so forth on this space. But what is more important is that that particular organization, like what you actually explained, what is that real need, integrating the applications into the channel. So one has to have that thought. And when that comes in, technologies obviously is an enabler, but how do we use the technologies what matters the most? And I think it's been articulated by you greatly. So thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Jay. Right.
Great. Wonderful insights, Subbu, and thank you, Jay, for taking this up along with me. So thank you for joining on this platform today and sharing your views and your journey with us, Subbu. Great insights, good learnings, and good to hear how Mindtree has, planned and envisioned, and the vision that they have in terms of transformation. So great to hear such points. Thank you once again, and it's a pleasure to have you on CIO News platform.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks to Jay. I mean, certainly, Tata Communications is one of our key backbones. I think we ride on them for all our data, and a lot of things are already we have through them. Thanks, Jay, for that, as well as for great support and for this session today.
Absolutely. Plus is ours. Thanks, Kushbu. Thanks, Subbu, on behalf of Tata Communications. It's been a great session. Thanks for all your insight.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Khushbu and Jay.